What if the key to living a better life is giving fewer fucks? That's the bold, no-nonsense message at the heart of The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck by Mark Manson. A brutally honest, deeply refreshing take on how to live with more clarity, purpose, and peace. It's not about being careless. It's about being selective. It's about choosing what's actually worth your energy, your time, and your soul. In a world constantly screaming at you to care about everything, Manson argues that most of what we worry about doesn't matter, and the things that do matter, we often ignore them because they're uncomfortable, unglamorous, or hard. But the truth is, growth only happens when we stop running from discomfort and start facing it head-on. From the very first pages, the book punches through the fluff. You don't need to be positive all the time. In fact, the constant chase for happiness often makes us more miserable. Why? Because when you're always chasing more, you're constantly reinforcing the idea that what you have and who you are isn't enough. Instead, Manson says, happiness comes from solving problems, not avoiding them, not escaping them, just working through them, one real step at a time. That's where the magic of not giving a fuck comes in. You only have so many to give, so use them wisely. Stop spending your mental currency on what other people think. Stop wasting it on things outside your control. Choose your values, then give your energy only to the things that truly align with those values. One of the most liberating parts of this book is the idea that you're not special, and that's not an insult, it's freedom. When you stop believing you're uniquely destined for greatness or tragedy, you stop being paralyzed by unrealistic expectations. You stop fearing failure. You become okay with being average. And in doing so, you free yourself to improve without pressure. Manson asks a powerful question. What pain are you willing to endure? That's what determines your life, whether it's building a business, raising a child, writing a book. Everything worthwhile comes with struggle. The goal isn't to avoid pain, it's to choose meaningful pain. Struggles that lead somewhere real, discomfort that builds something lasting. He also challenges us to take responsibility. Even when things aren't your fault, your response still is. That's where your power lives, not in what happens to you, but in how you respond to it. When you stop blaming and start owning your experience, you take back control. Not over the world, but over yourself. We're always choosing. Whether we're aware of it or not, every action or inaction is a decision. And if you want to live intentionally, you have to wake up to that fact. You have to stop sleepwalking through life and start consciously choosing what matters. And yes, failure is part of the deal, but failure isn't the enemy, it's the path. Manson reminds us that confidence doesn't come first, action does. You fail, you learn, you adjust. Then you try again. That's how growth works. At the core of this philosophy is values. Good values, like honesty, responsibility, and curiosity, lead to a stronger, more grounded life. Bad values, like always being right, or constantly needing validation, leave you fragile, reactive, and unsatisfied. If you want a better life, you need better values. Toward the end of the book, Manson turns surprisingly stoic. He brings in one of the oldest, most powerful ideas in philosophy. Memento Mori, remember, you will die. And, far from being depressing, this truth is liberating. When you remember your time is limited, you stop wasting it. You stop stressing over the petty, the shallow, the temporary. You start living more fully, here, now, in the only moment that's real. Because at the end of the day, the subtle art of not giving a fuck is really about living better by caring more intentionally. It's about choosing your problems, facing your fears, owning your choices, and letting go of the rest. So, what are you ready to stop giving a fuck about? If this breakdown spoke to you, hit like, subscribe, and check out the next video in the playlist. And drop a comment below. I'd love to hear which idea hit hardest for you. Until next time, choose your fucks wisely and live like it matters.